Hi everyone, my name is Phil and welcome to Phil Does 3D. I'm a multimedia and 3D artist and I stream live on Twitch on Mondays and Tuesdays at 5 p.m. Pacific time in the United States, which is 10 a.m. if you're in Australia or 1 a.m. if you're in the UK. I hope all you guys and girls are well and you had a good weekend. Remember, if you do miss my live streams, you can always catch up by clicking the videos tab at the top of my Twitch page. We're going to continue. Smurfberry Barbecue, howdy to you as well. It's good to see you, buddy. I hope you had a good weekend. I hope you're well. We're going to continue working on the House on the Hollow game, which you can wishlist right now on Steam. Just type exclamation Steam in Twitch chat or click the graphic in my panels below my stream. That will take you to the Steam store page. We're working on the lift which goes in the basement for the game. Last week we were doing UV mapping and we're going to be doing UV mapping again today. Oh, what fun. Don't we love UV mapping? I'm just going to grab a quick drink before we start. Okay. So, we're modeling in Max, we're UV mapping in Rhizome UV, and we are texture mapping or texture painting in Substance Painter. Smurfberry says, I ate most of a birthday cake myself this week. Everyone in my family except for me was born in August. Wow, really? You're the black sheep of the family, you weren't born in August? That's really weird. So everyone in your family was born in August. That is bizarre. Wow. And you ate almost a whole birthday cake on your own, Smurfberry. Wow. What type of birthday cake was it? Was it vanilla, chocolate, ice cream? What was it? Nothing wrong with that. It's okay to eat a whole birthday cake almost all on your own. I've eaten a chocolate cake on my own before, so, you know, I can't talk. Yellow cake, vanilla oh, yum. Vanilla frosting, yum. Nice. And I have eaten an entire chocolate cake on my own before, so I can't talk. All right. So, well, happy birthday to whoever's birthday it was, Smurfberry. And I hope they didn't mind you eating all their cake. So this is the lift that we're working on. Now the lift is broken up into different sections, the frame, the lift itself, the outer frame, the door, and then there are two sliding doors inside. Now we have UV mapped the frame, the lift, and the two inside sliding doors. So all we have left to do is the actual frame and the main outer door here. Which do we tackle first? Maybe the main door, because I'm leaving this till last because it's the biggest. And it has a lot of the decorative work on it, which is always a pain to UV map, so we'll leave that till last. Actually, before I forget, let's just quickly UV map the cabling that runs up. That won't take long. Well, it shouldn't. Famous last words. Let's open up Rhizome UV. I've got to make sure it's an edit poly. I've got to collapse my stack because otherwise the plugin will complain. And send it over to Rhizome. I'm just making sure I have the right one selected because we have high and low poly versions of the lift. So I have to make sure I send through the right one. Because we don't want to UV map the high poly version because it's useless. We only have to UV map the low poly version. All right, let's see here. I don't think that any of the other unwraps are going to work any better than this one, to be honest. I wonder if I should do it in Max. You know what? I think I might actually do it in Max. So what I'm going to do is I'll send it back over to Max. But we're going to isolate that piece And we're going to... I'm not going to remove the unwrapped Rhizome did, but I'm just going to throw a UVW map on top of this. How do I want to tackle this? I think I might do it this way. Yeah, because these are actually like cabling, so they're cylinders. So the easiest way to map this is probably just going to be doing a cylindrical map. So I'm going to remove the one that Rhizome just added, and I'm going to break this up into the 4 separate pieces for the cables. So we're just going to detach. Okay. And we're going to throw a UVW map down, and we're just going to do a cylindrical map. I'm not even going to cap it because the top and the bottom you're never going to see. So at the moment it's not correct, so let's fit it. Make sure the orientation is correct. Hang on. I'm just going to try and work out what Max is doing here. Cylindrical. There we go. That's better. So we're just going to do a cylindrical map on all of them. And I should be able to copy and paste with a bit of luck. And this one. And this one. And that should be good. Now we just collapse the stack and reattach them all. And I'm just going to throw an unwrapped UVW down so we can repack our UV, because they're all lying on top of each other at the moment, which will cause problems in a game engine, so we don't want that. And Max is... Oh, I see. Okay. All right. So now we should be good. Okay, that's done. Now we can tackle the door. Remember, guys, if you've got questions while I'm working, feel free to pop into chat and ask me if I can help in any way. I'm happy to try. But if all you want to do is watch, that's completely fine. So let's send the door over to Rhizome UV. And I'm hitting the wrong button. Let's isolate that. And let's see, let's try this one. No, that one's not going to work. Let's try this one. I know that one's not going to work. And that one is not going to work either. And this one's going to work. I'm going to do these pieces separately instead of trying to do them all together, because again, it's these weird shapes that the program has a problem sometimes unwrapping. Not that one. should work. Just not happy with the way it's done that unwrap. So I think what I'll do is Smoker says, what percentage of the elevator still needs to be UV'd? Probably 30% left to UV, I'd say, Smurf. We've only got the main door here and then the outer cage. So I'd say that like 70% is done and 30% left to do. Legmog, hello to you. Hello there to you as well. Good to see you. So yeah, about 30% left to UV map. So I'm just going to give the program a little bit of a hand here and do a little bit of UVing manually. Oh, wow. I'm just wondering if I should cut it. Through here. The Legmark says, so Sniper gave me some advice on Discord about all the PSU queries, which I went ahead and did. Good. I got one of those power meter things. Yep. Where you plug it into the wall, then plug something else into it. And it tells you how much watts it's kicking out. Wow. I mean, I hope you didn't spend a lot on the power meter thingy. Otherwise, it would have been just better for you to buy a new power supply if you're worried about it. But no, that's a good way to go. That does tell you, they tell you exactly how much wattage you're pulling. Hellforge, it's good to see you. Morning to you as well. Hope you had a good weekend. I hope you did too, Legmog. So what did it say, Legmog? How much power are you drawing? But yeah, I hope you didn't spend a lot of money on it, because otherwise it would have been just easier for you to buy a new power supply. I think you would have been fine personally, but anyway, you want to be sure. I understand that. Yeah, again, I really don't like how this program wants to unwrap. This one might be better. Yeah, we'll go with this one. Legmark says, yeah, it looks like you all were right. I set my PC doing an intensive GPU render for over an hour. I also played Twitch on monitor number 2 and opened After Effects and RAM previewed a very heavy scene. i.e. making my PC do the most intensive stuff all at once. Well, that's the way to check. And the wattage output never exceeded 300 watts. There you go. Legmog says, no, the thing I got was 10 quid off Amazon. Okay, cool, that's fine. Yeah, look, 750 watt, good quality power supply, you would have been fine. We told you. It's good to check though. And like I said, if it's a good quality power supply, the worst thing that is going to happen is that your machine will blue screen or will shut down if it can't get enough power. Good quality PSUs are made to, they have all protections built into them. They'll shut down before they destroy any equipment. And you're more likely to destroy electronics by giving them too much voltage, not enough voltage. So that's generally, and electronics will get fried if they're sent too much voltage. So yeah, and the machine will shut down with not enough voltage anyway. So, but it was good to check. It pays to check. Last thing you want to do is damage your motherboard or your CPU or anything like that, because those things are expensive. Or your graphics cards, which are actually more expensive now than CPUs, ironically. And the rumor mill, NVIDIA have started a countdown. I don't know if you guys have heard. Their Twitter page, the GeForce Now Twitter page, has a countdown to the 31st of August, so 21-day countdown. And we all know what they're counting down to. The new Series Ampere graphics cards from NVIDIA, I'm sure. That's my guess anyway. So again, keep that in mind, Legmog, if you are considering buying a new graphics card, because the new ones are due to be released within weeks now, like 3 weeks. Healthward says, was an alright weekend, didn't get much done other than catching up on some sleep. Well, that's alright. Look, there are times when I feel tired. Like, everyone gets tired. So if you're not feeling it, don't do it. I've said that to you guys before. No point in forcing yourself to do something you don't want to do, particularly if it's 3D related, because you're just not going to do good work anyway. So take a break, and a break is a good thing. That's why I go away the middle of every year, because I need a break. You can't just work constantly, otherwise you're just going to burn yourself out. If I should optimize these, let's have a look. No, they should be fine. Helpwood says, hope you had a good weekend. I had a good weekend. Hope you all had a good weekend. He's not just talking to me. Yeah, I did have a good weekend. It was cool. I'm getting sick of being in lockdown though, I have to tell you guys. I mean, I'm used to working from home, so that side of things is fine. But just being in curfew between 8 p.m. and 5 a.m, I think it is, where we can't leave the house at all. Otherwise we'll get fined, huge fines. That's getting really tiring. That and the fact too that, yeah, they've put all these other restrictions in place, and I understand it, I accept it, I know it's for the public health good. But man, I'm getting so tired of being in lockdown. But our numbers are gradually coming down in Melbourne, which is a good thing. So I guess the lockdown's working. Legmark says, you did tell me, indeed. Yes, we did. Not just me. We all told you. It seems even when doing a hardcore GPU render going on, the graphics card is only kicking out about 150 watts worth of power. Yeah, so on the most intensive stuff ever, the wattage isn't even half of what my PSU is. Well, that's good, because like Smurfberry, I think, mentioned last week when we were talking about it, you don't want to be running your PSU close to 100% of the capacity. You want to keep it like 50% is a great thing to aim for, but you can generally go to 70 or 80%. As long as you don't go above 80%, then you're in the sweet spot for power delivery. But 50% is better because it's less wear and tear on the power supply. And I think people get confused with power supplies and graphics cards because companies recommend a certain wattage for their GPU. Like NVIDIA recommends, I think it's 600 or 650 watt on the 2080 or 2080 Ti. I can't remember which. But they do that so that they make sure that the people that buy their graphics cards have power supplies that are capable of running them. That and the fact too that some people buy cheap power supplies, and cheap power supplies generally won't produce the amount of power, the wattage that they say they do. So NVIDIA are just trying to cover things for people that buy a cheap power supply, thinking they're going to be covered, and the power supply doesn't deliver as much power as it actually says it does. So yeah, I think that's why companies overestimate on the power supply requirement. Yeah, graphics cards, graphics cards generally, they don't chew through that much power, really. I mean, they use more than what the CPU does generally, but they do everything on the computer, from displaying graphics on the screen to if you use CUDA or whatever. So you expect them to use a bit more power, but you don't need a huge power. These 1,000-watt power supplies, I don't know where all that came from. I don't know how companies or people thought they needed that sort of thing. It's just unnecessary. I mean, unless you're running like 4 graphics cards, or maybe if you run 4 graphics cards at the same time, you might need 1,000 watts, but very few people do that. Thank you, Hellforge. Hellforge has popped the Discord server in. I forgot to mention that this morning. If you do want to join the Phil Does 3D Discord server, click that link that Hellforge just popped into Twitch chat, or at any time type _Discord in Twitch chat, or if you're watching my streams back under the videos tab, you can click the graphic in my panels below my stream that says join the Phil Does 3D Discord. So it's the same goes for wishlisting the House in the Hollow game, which is what we're working on right now. Pepper says, I was reading about the Energy Star certification while we were talking PSUs, like gold, platinum, yep, and the articles were talking about how they measure those standards. Space Human, what's up with you? Good to see you. Did you have a good weekend? The Space Human. Smeppery says, basically, yeah, most of the time there's a sweet spot of efficiency and the standards try to target efficiencies at that spot. I think, isn't that why they say 80 certified, 80 gold certified, or 80 platinum certified? They sort of up the sweet spot is up to 80%, I think, of the usage of the PSU. But the lower the better. So, you know, if you run your PSU at 50%, that's better than running it at 80%. But after that, like 80%, then it starts to become less efficient. The power delivery starts to become less efficient. I think you can get more variation in the power supply, in the power delivery. Yeah, after 80% use capacity of the power supply. And again, I'm not really completely up on the ins and outs of power supplies, but I do know that much. And I was sure you were going to be okay with 750 watt. Did you have a good weekend, Space Human? Legmark says, yeah, I have a friend who is a complete technophile, wastes thousands on the latest tech. Well, there's nothing wrong with that. I like my technology too. Needlessly say, well, that's not good. He kind of gets off on tech, and the higher the number, more expensive, the more he wants to buy it. He was all, oh yeah, man, you will definitely need a 1200 watt PSU. Well, we've proven him wrong, haven't we? We know that is not true. Again, I think the 1,000 watt power supplies and above, they were made for people that want to run quad SLI sort of setups. SLI isn't really, SLI is not a thing anymore. It's called NVLink now. If you actually do want to hook up 2 graphics cards, it's not SLI anymore. But people don't do it anymore because it used to cause all sorts of problems with drivers and with games, and it just really was not worth the money that you used to spend getting 2, 3 or 4 graphics cards and trying to hook them all up. It created more problems than it was worth. which is why NVIDIA don't really talk about it anymore. They don't talk about hooking up more than one of their graphics cards. They do have NVLink, which is for actually hooking up more than one. But I think even with NVLink, I don't know if they're limited to 2 or not. So again, I don't bother with that sort of thing. But you don't need a 1200 watt. You don't need a 1000 watt. I have a 750 watt. I only run one graphics card. But I would have no problem if I wanted to run another one on 750 watt. So. And I bought 750 watt just to make sure I had enough overhead so I wasn't running my power supply at close to its capacity. So I know I'm only using a half of what I need, if that, probably less than half. Having said that though, I'm interested to see with the new graphics cards from NVIDIA, because the rumour, and it's a rumour, is that they use much more power. No one knows. I mean, everyone is guessing. NVIDIA keep their cards very close to their chest, and they don't release information. So everybody who is saying, I have an insider who told me this, or I have an insider who told me this, chances are that is just crap, because NVIDIA make sure that they don't, that the specs don't leak before they want them to leak anyway. Or if specs are leaking, then it's NVIDIA wants them to leak, and they might not be the correct specs, because, you know, there's power play between AMD and NVIDIA, and they all always trying to find out what the other one is doing. So yeah, take every leak with a grain of salt. But now that NVIDIA have actually put up their Twitter page saying an announcement on the 31st of August, you can pretty much guarantee it's going to be the new Ampere graphics cards. They say that release will be September 9, so they're going to do probably a soft launch on August 31st with an actual launch on September 9. And I'm curious to see what the benchmarks are on the new cards, to see exactly what NVIDIA are planning. But I hope that they don't change the power plug for the power supply to the graphics card. That will annoy me. Smurfy says, just wait until we have room temperature superconductors, 100% efficiency PSUs. Oh, that'd be sweet. 100% efficiency power supply would be sweet. Legmog says, now I'm looking forward to saying yeah about that whole you need a 1200 watt PSU if you want another graphics card. Well, my PC right now is barely touching 300 watts output. This Space Human says, I've been great. Busy weekend shooting videos. I'm working on a project as well at the moment. Cool. So you've been shooting videos all weekend? Nice. What are you using to do your video work on? Are you using a dedicated camera? Are you using a phone? What are you using? Just curious. Always curious as to what you guys use for your... No, that's not going to work. For your project? That won't work. Because phone cameras are very good now. We were talking about this when we were doing photogrammetry stuff, and don't think you need to buy a big expensive camera. I mean, don't get me wrong, a big expensive camera is nice. But if you can't, don't forget that your phone has a very good camera generally now. For photogrammetry at least. And it's all about the megapixels with photogrammetry. The higher the megapixel count, the better the photogrammetry model. Legmog says, you said it'll be what? You said it'll be at the end of the month when we'll hear about the new card. Yes, I did. Might just hold fire and see what's occurring in that case. Yeah. I did say, I mean, the rumour mill has been in overdrive for the last few months, but we can be pretty confident now that NVIDIA have put up this coming soon announcement on the 31st of August on the GeForce Now, which is their graphics Twitter account, that it'll be an announcement regarding the new graphics cards. And the general consensus is they're going to release them on the 9th of September. So announcement on the 31st of August with a release on the 9th of September. That seems to be what everyone suggests. Again, I don't have inside information. That is just from what I've picked up from reading various sites and seeing what different people have been saying. Which makes sense because, what was I going to say? Because it's been 2 years now since the 2080 Ti has been released, and NVIDIA generally do a refresh every 2 years, so on their graphics cards. 2 years. Can you believe it's been 2 years since the 2080 Ti was released? Where does the time go? Like we're in August now. I remember Christmas. Christmas just felt like last week. Well, maybe not, but like it's time. Where does the time go? Anyway, I am looking forward to the new graphics cards. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what they what the performance is like anyway. Because, you know, we've had a year now, 2 years now for developers, games developers, to get a handle on real-time ray tracing. The 2080 was the first graphics card that had real-time ray tracing. So I'm looking forward to what the second generation now brings. Because do you remember when NVIDIA released the 20 series 2 years ago? I did say to you guys, look, if I was you and if I had a 10 series card, I would not buy a 20 series card. I would wait for the next generation after that. Because the first generation is... people aren't used to using it. They haven't developed stuff for ray tracing. So it takes till the second generation before it really becomes useful. So, and now the new consoles, they're all going to be ray trace capable. So let's see what AMD bring to the table as well. Legmark says, might just hold fire and see what yeah, I would. You're so close to the new release now, Legmog. Unless you're getting a really good deal on a 2080 or a 2080 Ti, and I mean a really good deal, I would hold off. Even if you're getting a good deal, I would still hold off and see. Because if anything, they're just going to get cheaper anyway. So if you do say, if NVIDIA released the 3000 series, the 3080 or whatever, and it's really expensive or it's not as big a jump as people thought, well, then you can buy the 2080 at a good price. Because it's only going to get cheaper with the new release of graphics cards anyway. The old generation generally always does reduce in price if you want to buy one. Now I know this is cutting it up a lot more, but it's giving me a much more even look to the model, so I'm going to use this one. Particularly too, because we're going to be doing low poly to high poly baking. So we want to make sure our unwrap here is as clean as we can get it, so we get a good result. And these swirly bits they're always really difficult to UV map anyway. See if we can do a couple of these at a time. Let's push our luck, shall we? These ones I won't. They're a bit more complicated. Legmark says, so I guess they'll only release the normal version of the new card, and the Ti version will come out some months later. No, the rumour, again, it's a rumour, but generally NVIDIA have done this in the past. What they're going to do is they'll release the 3080 first, and then maybe a week later the 3080 Ti, and then I think the following month the 3070, and the month after that the 3060. So generally the 3080 and the 3080 Ti, they'll both be released first. But generally the TI version comes about a week after the normal version. So yeah. So in September, you should be able to buy a 3080 and a 3080 Ti. In November, you should be able to buy a 3070, and in December, you should be able to buy a 3060. If NVIDIA follow the same track they did with their previous releases of graphics cards. It used to be that they used to leave the TI version until months later, but they stopped doing that with the 20 series, so odds are good they're going to do the same thing with the 30 series. So if you're after one of the high-end cards, you should be able to get it pretty much soon after launch. It's only the 3070 and 3060 that generally lag a bit.
Creeping through the rhythms of my heart. In the night I feel you here, whispering inside my ear, telling me the secrets of my thoughts.
Hellforge says this whole year have felt like 10 years to be honest. See, I'm older than you guys though, so you know, the older you get, the quicker time seems to fly. It's perverse, but that's the way it works. So yeah, no, look, this year's over halfway done now. I mean, we're in August, so September, October, November, December, 4 months, we're going to be back at Christmas, and it just feels like we had Christmas, I mean. So, but I know when you're younger, it feels like time drags, because I remember that from my younger days. Not my old grandpa days like now. Legmog says, yeah, to Hellforge, when I watch clips of pre-2020 videos and people are sat close to one another and coughing in close proximity and no one bats an eyelid, I'm all, the golden old days. The olden days, yes, I know. How times have changed, hey? We're all paranoid now if we're out in public and someone coughs next to us. We all freak out. Well, you should be having, well, of course masks are mandatory where I live now, so if you go outside you must have a mask on. If you don't have a mask on, you will be fined. And again, they're really large fines. They're not like, you know, $5, $10, $50. We're talking close to $2,000 fines, So that gives you an incentive to keep a mask on. You would be broken up like this, wouldn't you? Very annoying. The Space Human says, I shoot, edit music videos for my work, so just the music videos this weekend. I'm using my Sony A7S2 SII at the moment. I want to start including more live action 3D stuff into my videos as well as animations. Cool. Music videos would be cool. That'd be a really interesting sort of work to do. Very cool. I'm a big fan of music and I like watching music videos as well. I always have. So that would be really, really interesting, cool work. Big business in music videos now. Incorporating live action, yeah, that sounds really cool. Or 3D into live action is very cool. And again, that's why when I texture map this, I'm using Mari, but generally I'm using Substance Painter. I can't chew gum and talk at the same time. But generally I use Mari, and Mari is really good for incorporating 3D objects into live action footage. It was sort of because it was made for film work. Whereas Substance Painter was originally created for game stuff. Not that you can't use it for other stuff, but Mari is really the program for incorporating live action footage in 3D. Or some of the other programs, like I don't use it myself. I can't remember what it's called now off the top of my head. What is it called? Mari. It's made by the Foundry. It's another program made by the Foundry, who are the company that make Mari. I can't remember. It's to do more with editing video work. So that is really cool. Helford says, more like so much has happened this year that it's hard to keep track of it all. Well, that's true. I mean, this lockdown, even though it's been going in Melbourne now for, we had 6 weeks at stage 3, now we've got 6 weeks at stage 4. So that'll be 12 weeks. Man, that feels like months and months and months. So the lockdown feels a lot longer than it actually is, but the year seems to have gone by very quickly. Hellforge says, if you're a 3D artist, you should have a smart mask on. Well, that's true. You want to print your own smart mask. Buki says, fined or shot? No, only fine. You don't get shot. We don't live in that sort of a police state here in Australia. But you will get fined. And if you don't pay your fine, then you'll go to jail. And the fines are quite large. Mind you, we have our share of idiots in this country, like people that refuse to put a mask on because, it's an invasion of their human rights. So we get people that don't want to do what they're told to do, which is, human nature, I suppose. No one likes to be told what to do, even if it is for the good of the public and public health. So a few people have been fined. There was a thing going around social media a few weeks ago of a lady who refused to put a mask on when she went to a Bunnings store, which is like a hardware store here. Bunnings is a chain of hardware stores. Think Costco, but all they do is like hardware stuff, like hammers and saws and all that sort of stuff. She refused to go put a mask on when she wanted to enter one of their stores, and she was arrested because she said it was an invasion of her human rights, I think she said. To be told to put a mask on. And then we get people that say, well, the human malware is not a real thing. It's just all fake news, which is not true. It is a real thing. People are dying from it. So please, please don't believe that it's not a real thing. It is a real thing. Hellforge says, and if you're a hipster, wear an eye mask. Bonbuki says, fave clips at the moment is Go Bang by PNAU. I love PNAU. Yeah. Or PNAU. I can't remember how they want you to pronounce it. Yeah, I love their music. Nice live action 3D combo. That's so cool. Yeah, I've seen their videos. Their videos are very cool. They're the ones where they use the luminescent paint on the lady and stuff, and they have the 3D models of plants and things on the ground in the background. Yeah, they do really, really nice videos and really good music too. I like their music. So that yeah, I get what you're talking about, Bonbuki. Legmog says, I miss my dancing. Man, those dance nights, hundreds of people packed into a hall, all jive dancing away. That was my main social outlet, and that'll be the last thing to come back, if ever at all. Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. I'm not saying it's not tough. There are a lot of businesses that are closing down in Australia. I mean, all things like gyms, because gyms are going to take a long time to come back as well, because you've got a lot of people in an enclosed space who are working out, so they're breathing heavy, so that, they're filling the air presumably with aerosol, which can carry the virus. So, and live events like pubs where you have a live event, so you got musicians playing. So you got crowds of people packed into a venue to watch live musicians. That sort of thing's going to take a long time to come back. The entertainment industry, like movie making, anything like that, there are large groups of people involved with doing that in enclosed spaces. So that's why that's been put on hold for a while. I mean, I think the movie industry will come back more quickly simply because they make so much money from the movie industry that. And it's something society just, like, I love watching movies. I'm sure you do too. So I'm sure they're keen to get back into doing that as quickly as they can. Yeah, but there are some industries that are really going to take a long time to come back. Until we at least get a vaccine, which could be years away, if ever. I mean, there is the chance that we will never have a vaccine. And if they do have one, it won't be completely 100% effective. Vaccines are never 100%. So we're going to be living with this for a long time, unfortunately. It's not something that's just going to go away overnight. So I feel for your leg, Mog, and you're dancing. Well, you can always dance at home. I know it's not the same. Space Human says to Bonbuki, about to check that out. Murphberry Barbecue says, I'm disappointed that these cyber goth gas masks haven't become trendy. I'm disappointed that those old-fashioned masks from the plague period, where they had that looks like a big bird's nose on the front of them. I'm disappointed they haven't come back into fashion. I want to see people walking around with those really freaky-looking old masks on. So I get where you're coming from, Smurfberry. Legmog says, I'm pretty sure a flipping deadly virus is also an invasion of your human right to life. But they're oddly chill about that. Well, that's true. Legmog says, anyone who thinks it's all a hoax, just search Herman Cain on Google. It's not a hoax, guys. It's not a hoax. I fear for society. I do. When I see people saying it's all a hoax and it's just something that's been invented by the media and it doesn't exist, and it makes me sad. It's sad that there can be people in the world who believe things like that. And I get that a lot of people are hurting, a lot of businesses are closing down. I understand that. But that's no excuse to put you or other people's lives at risk by not doing what you're supposed to be doing, by not being socially responsible. We all have to live on the planet together. We all have to take care of each other. We can't be selfish and say, well, I don't believe it, so I'm just not going to do it. Because you're not only hurting other people, you're putting your own life at risk. And young people, it's not just an old person's disease that dies from this. Young people can die from it as well. That's the problem we've had here in Melbourne. A lot of the young people in this city that I live in think that, well, the majority of people that are dying are like 80 or 90 years old or 70. So it doesn't affect me. Look, and I'm not saying the majority of people that are dying are are elderly people. But it kills young people too, and you might just be the one unlucky person that it kills. So why take the risk? I mean, really, why do you want to risk it? What's the point? Just do as you're told. It's not going to be forever. You'll be able to go out and party eventually. Just chill for a while. Do your soul some good. Just to chill. Gonna have to be careful here. I've got all these little bits of fretwork everywhere. And I have to make sure I get them all when I'm UV mapping. So yeah, that's I think the reason why it spread again in Melbourne was because a lot of young people, and I'm not blaming young people, I'm sure there are older people as well, that just didn't take it seriously or thought it wouldn't really affect them, so they did the wrong thing when they were out and about. They didn't socially distance or anything like that. And we're going to have to get used to it because it's going to be with us for quite a while. So. Android Lust, it's good to see you, Android Lust. Sorry, Phil's been running his mouth at 1,000,000 miles an hour as usual, giving his opinion about everything and everything and everyone. Bombuki says, can I link 2 tracks, both music clips taking similar approaches to image manipulation? You can't post links in my Twitch chat unless you're a sub to my channel, Bombuki. Unfortunately, you'll get timed out. But you can post them on the Discord if you want, or you can speak with one of the mods, and if they approve the links, then they can post them for you. Thank you, Android Lust, for the 31-month subscription. That is awesome of you. Thank you very much, Android Lust. I do appreciate the sub, and I appreciate the fact you've been subbed for 31 months. Man, I've been streaming on Twitch for so long. But yeah, I do appreciate that, Android Lust. Thank you very much. Where are we? Yeah, it's good to see you, buddy. Legmog says he was a big person in US politics. Once ran for the presidential nomination, big on masks. Big on masks? Masks are against human rights. COVID is fake news. And let's just say he got some poetic justice. I think I did hear about this person. Yeah, no, I did hear about this person. I do know who you're talking about. I am familiar. Yep. If it's the same person I'm thinking of, yeah, I do recall a news story on that. Yes, we'll do as Legmog says, look him up. If you think that it's fake news, do a Google search as Legmog suggests and look that person up and you will see exactly what happened. It's not fake news. It does affect everyone. The human malware is real, and if you're not careful, you can die from it. And it's socially responsible to wear masks and socially distance when and where you can. Bombuki says, Herman believed on his deathbed. Legmog. Yeah, but it's too late though when you're on your deathbed, isn't it? That's the problem. Android Lust says, I've known someone who died from COVID, not a hoax. I think the people who think it's a hoax live in a bubble. Yeah, I think so too. I lose faith in humanity sometimes when I see people saying things like it's a hoax or not wanting to social distance because it's an invasion of their privacy or their rights or whatever. It makes you lose faith in humanity sometimes. But you have to remember that those people do not represent the majority of people on the planet Earth. Those people live in their own little world, believe what they want to believe, whether it's true or not. That's what gets me through the day. Otherwise, I would just be in tears half the time if I think that the whole world was like some of those people, full of people like that. But it's not. There are good people in the world and socially responsible people in the world. Now I'm just going through to make sure I have not forgotten anything and I've got all the little bits and pieces done. I'm pretty sure I have. Now we are getting a little bit of squishing, stretching and squishing here on this part of the model, but I don't think it's going to be noticeable once we actually apply a metallic texture, so it should be all right. The same with just up here. I think we should be okay, but what I can do is I can actually see if we can't, okay. I see. I was going to say, we might see if we can do an optimize. But I'm having a bit of a problem deselecting. No, I think we'll be all right. And I think we've got everything. I don't think there's anything I've forgotten. I think everything is UV mapped. Hellforge says I'm going to head off. No problem. I keep falling asleep on my desk. Thanks for the stream. I'll try to be more awake tomorrow. You have a great night's sleep, Hellforge. Thanks for popping in and being here. I know it's late for you guys in Europe. So you have a good night's sleep, Hellforge. I did reply to your message on the Discord server, so yeah, shoot it through to me and I'll check it out for you. Maybe after you've had a good night's sleep or just when you've got time. And you take care and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow. And yes, thank you, Hellforge. If you do want to wishlist the game you see me working on now, you can do that by clicking the link that Hellforge just popped into Twitch chat. The game is called The House in the Hollow. I forgot the little hinges here. The House in the Hollow, which is available to wishlist right now on Steam. See, I knew I'd forget something if I wasn't paying more attention. But now I think we've done everything. I don't think I'm forgetting anything now. Famous last words. Alrighty. So I guess we can send it back to Max and we can repack the UVs. I'm pretty sure I got everything. So let's save. Let's throw an unwrap UVW down. And let's get Max to do a repack. I'm actually not going to use this tool, the packing tool over here. I'm going to go into the tools menu and pack the UVs. And we'll just wait for Max to do that and it gives me a chance to have a coffee. Now I can turn off the map seams because I don't like looking at those green lines around everything. Let's do a quick save here to make sure that we don't lose the work we've done. And now all that's left to UV map is the actual outer cage here. So we'll do that. And then we will be done with the UV mapping. So let's send this over to Ryzen. Edit poly, good. So once we finish UV mapping this, then I'm going to do vertex coloring and then we're going to take it into Substance Painter to do texturing. Once we've textured it up, then we're going to move back to the attic. So we'll see the model textured, but we won't be actually placing it in the basement until we get down to that part of the building. We're moving back to the attic after that. So let's start UV mapping this beast up. Let's try this one. I'm just going to see if I can't do an optimize on these pieces. Sometimes it can do some very strange things. We won't do an optimize. And again, you see how it's trying to do an unwrap here on some of these? Let's just see if we can get a better result with this one instead. Yeah, no, I don't like what it's doing there. Very odd. Just going back in my stack here. Because the unwrap itself doesn't look too bad, I'm just... I wonder if I should do that in Max. Snake Dance Smurfberry says that's right. Android Lost says, I swear Ryzen hates unwrapping. Yeah, I know, it does. Really simple things like this, which is basically just a cylinder or a tube, it has a real problem with. It's weird. It's just weird. And it's only the outer, it looks like it's the outer edge here it's having an issue with. Very annoying. Should be alright. Okay. Let's try this one. So yeah, it does. It's weird. Sometimes it can do complex geometry easily, and sometimes it does really easy geometry badly. No rhyme or reason. When it comes to texturing a substance painter, we did create smart materials based on when we textured the lever up, the control lever. We can reuse some of those because I did save out some smart materials that we made when we were using that. Because I knew that it would come in handy for when we wanted to do the rest of this. It helps keep everything consistent as well, so that the lever and the controller matches the lift. It saves us work and time. And they're good things. I'm still sort of trying to work out the design for the attic. As we're doing this, I'm still sort of like trying to work out the design for the attic section. I'm getting there, but I'm not there yet. Which is a good thing. That's why it's a good thing we're doing this, because it gives me time to try and work out the design for the attic. Instead of me sitting on stream here and twiddling my thumbs and looking at the screen and thinking, what am I going to do? Alright, so there's those straight pieces done. Let's do these are the straight pieces. Smokeberry says this song is grungy AF. I won't say what AF stands for. What song are we playing? Rishi. Sublimination. Again, I can't hear the music you guys hear. I'd have to put my headphones on to hear it. Which I can do, but yeah, I sit in silence because otherwise we get feedback through the mic. So I will trust your judgment saying it's grungy, Smurfberry. Android Lost says Maya has 2 UV unfolding options, Legacy and Unfold 3D. Sometimes on simple geometry, Unfold 3D option doesn't work. Doesn't want to work right for me. Unfold 3D option is the option I use 99% of the time. Well, again, we're using a program called Rhizome UV, but it used to be called Unfold 3D. So the program you see me using now used to be called Unfold 3D, and I know 3D Studio Max Autodesk, I guess they did the same with Maya. But I know that they bought the right to use the algorithms from the man who created this program, or the company, to integrate into Max. That was a few years ago now. So yeah, what you see me using is basically just a later version of what is built into Max, and obviously Maya as well. And it does. Sometimes it has a problem with really simple geometry. Inexplicably, I don't know why. It just does. Not always. Some geometry, simple geometry does fine. Just sometimes it has a real problem. No rhyme or reason. So yeah, I broke this model up into these different pieces because when I bring it into the game engine, we're going to be bringing them in as separate pieces and then putting the lift together inside of the engine. So I didn't want to have everything as one piece of geometry. For a few reasons. It helps to reduce the poly count per piece of geometry. So it's a bit easier for the engine to handle. Why else? It's easier for me to animate if it's not one piece of geometry as well. So the lift being a separate piece in the middle and the doors being separate will make it easy, pardon me, for me to actually animate things opening and closing and all that sort of jazz. It's the same sort of thing we're going to do because we're going to bring, the Temple of the Winds, that project we worked on here on Twitch, that I worked on while we were doing the photogrammetry stuff. I'm going to be bringing that model into the game engine as well, but I'm going to be bringing it in as pieces so that we can remake it inside of the Unreal Engine so that we can hardware instance the geometry just to make it a bit easier on the engine. More performant. That's the word. The lift I couldn't really do that for because it's too fiddly. There's too many fiddly little bits and pieces to try and recreate it in the engine itself and use instancing and all that sort of jazz. It just would have taken too long. And I don't actually know, even with hardware instancing, if it would have been a benefit to performance, because particularly if you're doing ray tracing, like one of the new things with ray tracing is you don't want to try and break your models up too much. It's better to actually merge them all into one model for performance with ray tracing. So yeah, with ray tracing now, you've sort of got to think about things a little bit differently than you used to with rasterization in a game engine. Okay, let's do the straight pieces across the top and the bottom. I see Horizon Zero Dawn has just been released on the PC. You can purchase it on Steam, I think, at the moment. I watched a playthrough of that. It was a PlayStation, I think, a PlayStation exclusive game, PlayStation 4, and it's just been released on the PC. And I did watch a playthrough of someone playing it on the PlayStation. Environments look very nice. I've heard that there are performance problems with it on the PC though. I mean, it's a console port. Don't we all expect that when we get a console port? So it's never going to behave properly on a PC. Well, it should, but you know. Android Dot says, yeah, Autodesk bought it. We're talking about Unfold 3D. Android Dot says, and it works great 99.5% of the time. Or 99%, yeah. I believe Temple of the Winds was when I first saw you. Was it really when you first saw my stream? Wow, really? Was it that long ago that I did the Temple of the Winds? You're not thinking of the Baroque Terrace, are you? That was my very first stream, because you've been subbed to me now for a very long time. My first actual project that I did on Twitch was the Baroque Terrace. That's not going in the game, but the Temple of the Winds is. The Temple of the Winds is the one that has the pond in the middle of it. Andrew Last says, Steam review says it was a bad port. Yeah, look, I've read reviews saying it was a bad port as well. It's always the case though. I mean, there's... Again, I'm not familiar with Sony's consoles, but I know the Microsoft Xbox. Basically, all they really are PCs. So I don't understand why companies can't do a proper port. Because it's basically just a PC inside of a console, really. I mean, you know, it has specialist chips and things that were made for the console, but it's really just a PC. So I don't really understand how we can get a bad port of a game, really. Because PCs are more powerful than consoles as well, so yeah, it just doesn't make sense to me. With the older console generations, the old Xbox and PlayStation, I could understand it because they were specialised CPUs and chips and graphics chips that they put in them, but nowadays they're pretty much just PCs. PCs in a console box. Shouldn't be that hard to do a port. Smokeberry says, I hope they can get some good performance patches for it because I need this game. I kind of want to put it off until I build a new computer though because my old scrap box won't do it justice. I would wait until they've released a couple of service patches for the game. Personally, you know, if nothing else, you'll just get it cheaper if you wait a little bit longer. And don't forget Cyberpunk's coming out soon too, so that'll take up everyone's time. Cyberpunk 2077, I think it is. But Horizon Zero Dawn does look pretty. I remember thinking when I was watching it on the Let's Play on the PlayStation that it did look very pretty. Like I really like the mech combination of the overgrown wild environments with these mechanical animals. That looked really cool. It was an interesting idea as well to incorporate that for the game. But I'm more looking forward to Cyberpunk. Because I'm sure that CD Projekt Red are going to do an amazing job. They always do. And it has been in development now for a very long time, so... Andrew Dust says, it was the Baroque Terrace. I just looked at them. Yeah, I thought it, yeah. That was well, you see, you've been one of my very earliest viewers. Smokeberry Barbecue as well. Both of you have been watching my stream since the beginning. Legmog too. Yeah, and the Baroque Terrace, that was the very first project I did on Twitch. Wow, that was so long ago. So long ago. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. Maybe that one. No, not that one. And again, this is a relatively simple piece of geometry that the program is having a bit of a problem trying to unwrap. It hasn't done a bad job, but generally it's not the way I would unwrap it. I just don't think we're going to get a better unwrap from the program than that one. We'll see. Yeah, no, I prefer the other unwrap. Well, we could always remap this in Max anyway. That's just a cylindrical map on that would work. But for now, we'll move on. Otherwise, we will be here forever. Let's try Let's see how it does with these little squiggly bits, shall we? Smepri says also for Cyberpunk 2077, because that's going to be a graphical beast on my box, definitely won't be able to handle it. Yeah, well, and again, it's going to be ray trace capable as well. I don't know if that's whether you guys care about ray tracing in that regard, but yeah, it'll be one of the newer titles to fully support ray tracing. I don't know what the minimum specs for it are. I'm looking forward to it though. Like I said, I'm sure it'll be a fun game. And it'll look good as well. Okay, let's do the final straight pieces through here. Android Lost says, I was kind of waiting for that game too. I'm not ready for Cyberpunk. Smepri says, I found a slide deck from a presentation by the HZD developers for how they made their dynamic volumetric cloud. So amazing. It was really, really cool read. Okay. Yeah, no, they did do a good job with the environments and the characters and stuff. They're all beautifully done in the game, Horizon Zero Dawn. Just a shame that the PC port so far at least is just not that great performance-wise. Which is why you should never pre-order a game. You should always wait for it to be released and then wait a little bit longer for the patches to come out to fix it. Not like they're going to run out of copies if you don't pre-order it. It's digital. There'll always be enough copies to buy. They won't run out. I know Horizon Zero Dawn, that was available for pre-order if you wanted to pre-order it. But again, my advice is don't pre-order any game from any company. Just wait for it to be released and see if it's any good to begin with, and then if you can wait a little bit longer for a couple of the patches to come out, that's always a good idea. Particularly these big games, because they're so big, there's so much that can go wrong, so they're always going to need to be patched. It's just the nature of the fact that it's, such a complicated game. There's going to be things that are going to be wrong here and there that will need to be patched out. Juzan, it's good to see you, Juzan. When we making our project, are you talking to Android Lust? Because I'm can't be talking to me. Oh, you don't realise just how many little bits and pieces there are until you got to UV map them all. Again, which is why I left this piece till last, because I knew it was going to be the most fiddly to UV map. Okay, let's do these pieces before I forget. Here and here. Alright, now I think we've just got all of the decorative work to do. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Alright, let's start at the bottom and work our way up. This one. I'm just going to see if I can't get a better unwrap on that piece. Well, no, we're getting a bit more stretching, but it's giving us a better unwrap, and the stretching is actually on the inside pieces here, so I think that's better. I really hate you mapping these fiddly bits. Jizan says, I'd want to make a game again, but I don't want to solo dev again. It's a lot of work when you do a solo dev job. I can get you, I can understand you not wanting to do it solo. It's always more fun with other people as well. I think what we'll do is we'll work our way around the bottom and then we'll gradually work our way up. I woke up with a bit of a sore eye this morning on this side. Don't know why. No. Bugger it. I went back too far. I think this is probably the best unwrap we're going to get on this. I see you posted in the Discord, Edo, Juzon, the Magneto sculpt. I'll show that off just before I close off for the day. It does look very cool. Nice modelling. I look forward to seeing it textured up. It's going to look sweet. Juzon says, you all have witnessed the growth in real time. It does, it looks very nice. Nice detailing on the model. Remember, if you're watching my stream and you do have something you want to show me, you can jump on the Discord server and pop it in the gallery. And I'll show it up on stream. If you don't want me to show it on stream though, just say in the gallery when you post the image, and I won't. I know not everybody likes having their work shown to everyone else, so I'm happy not to show it if you tell me not to. But I do like looking at stuff you guys make. Man, I hate UV mapping so much. Like the modeling stage I love, the texturing stage I love, but the UV mapping stage I really don't like. I know it's important and I know it needs to be done. That doesn't mean I have to like it though. Android Dot says, did you, Zan, what happened to the base you made for it? He's talking about his Magneto model. And again, if you want to see what they're talking about, jump on the Discord server. Juzan has posted an image in the gallery of what he's working on, and I will show it off just before I close off for the day on stream. Oh, almost back around to the beginning. Again, we're getting a little stretching, but it should be alright. Getting quite a bit of stretching there. I'll wait till I do a repack in max and I'll check that then. I'm just trying to make sure. I know I'm being a bit quieter than I normally am. I just want to try and get this done today before we finish the stream so that we can start just doing the vertex coloring and texturing it up tomorrow. How we go? Yeah. I'm going to break my own rule here and try and do more at once than I should. Smooper says YOLO. Yes, I know, I'm being quiet, which is very unusual for me. I'm trying to make sure I want to get this done today. So we can get the UV mapping put behind us. So yeah, I'm tempting fate and I'm selecting many more pieces here than I really should because the program will have an issue, or is more likely to have an issue the more pieces I select to do at once. At least you got some music playing in the background, so not a completely dead silent stream. How much more have I got left to do? We're nearly there. I don't know if I'm going to get it done today though. Even if I don't get it finished today, it won't be much left for us to do tomorrow, and then we can start vertex colouring and then take it into Substance Painter. It shouldn't be, there shouldn't be too much to vertex colour. Like there aren't going to be a lot of variations in the metalwork, so we should be okay. It shouldn't take too long to vertex colour it, is what I'm trying to say, and not doing a very good job of it. Right, now we just got the top bit. Let's see if we can do these together. I think the best one is probably the pelt mapping. Yeah, getting a little stretching. But I don't know that we're going to get a better result. No. We're getting much more stretching on that one. Pick where you want your stretching. Do I want it at the top or in the corners? Yeah, no, I think the pelt mapping was probably the best. Not ideal, but not terrible. Now that one is terrible. See how the same geometry sometimes using the same unwrapping method can give you a completely different result. It's just weird. Weird. So it's either going to be the pelt mapping or the box mapping for these pieces. And I know when I made it, it's identical geometry, so I don't understand why one unwrap works on one and won't work on the other. Program just has a mind of its own. No, we'll go back to the pelt. I don't know if you guys can hear there's some alarm going off in the background. I don't know if it's a car or I think it's a police siren. Or maybe somebody doesn't have their mask on outside, probably. You didn't hear it? Yeah, it was not loud, but this Yeti microphone tends to pick everything up, so I'm surprised you didn't hear it. I had to do grocery shopping yesterday, I think it was, and I forgot to put my mask on. I got halfway down the road, and I had to run all the way back to put my mask on. Couldn't believe it. I'm wondering why all these people are giving me all these dirty looks as I'm walking down the street. It's because I did not have a mask on. Like normally I remember. That's the first time I've forgotten. And I went straight back home and got the mask and put it on. Andrew Loss says you wouldn't get dirty looks for no mask in the US. You certainly get dirty looks here. That and the fact too that if the police had driven by, they would have fined me, and the fine is huge. I didn't intend to go out without my mask on. I honestly just forgot to put it on. Wasn't intentional. I just forgot. Let's just see if we can get a better unwrap. Nope. Oh, bit of luck. We'll get this done today. That'll be good. Let's tempt fate and do a couple of pieces at the same time. Live dangerously, why not? No, it's not going to do it. It should be okay. And again, same piece of geometry, same unwrap method, but this one is not going to work. Go figure. That one's not going to work. That one's really not going to work either. This one will probably work. Strange program. Let's see if we can do these pieces at the same time. And then that leaves these pieces. And that's not going to work. And that should work. Now, do remember too, I don't play with them too much, but each of these have settings that you can actually adjust as well. So I just don't tend to use them too much. That's if you are using this program. Okay, so what's left? These little curly bits. Okay, I don't think there's anything else left to UV map. I think we've got it all. Pretty sure we have it all. Leslie, it's good to see you. Holy mother of UVs. And, oh man, this was a pain to UV map this. That's why I left it till last. Let's send it back to Max. I knew it was going to be a major issue UV mapping this piece of geometry. Let's just go into isolation mode and do a repack on the UVs. In Max, we're going to fill holes and rotate clusters, and I'm going to have a copy while Max does that, because it's going to take Max a little while to work it out. But it's good to see you, Leslie. Hope you're well. Hope you had a good weekend. Smurfrey says, no, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be solid red. That's exactly right. Doesn't that look right to you guys? That's the ants. That's the tans working, Smurfrey says. That's right, your UVs aren't correct unless it's just one solid block of red. Max is working in the background, trust me, I can see it counting down there. But it's just hidden behind me. Thank God they put that little countdown there, the little percentage for you as it's working it out, otherwise you'd think the program has crashed. And that would be bad. That would be bad. It's at 55% at the moment. Oh, there we go. Let's turn off map seams. And I'm just going to throw a checker pattern down because I want to check my texel density. So I'm going to select it. I'm going to assign this checker pattern we already have. So we can look at our texel density and make sure everything looks correct. I think we should be good. I don't notice anything, nothing is jumping out at me as not being correct. Yeah, no, I think we'll be alright. Good, let's get rid of that checker pattern now. And we can unhide everything. And we need to do a save because we don't want the program to crash. That would be bad. But I think we've remapped everything. We've done the cabling, we've done the frame, we've done the lift, we've done the base, we've done the door, and we've done the sliding doors. Oh, the only other thing left would be the actual glass around the outside and the wire mesh around the inside. But they won't take long, they're just cylinders. So we'll do that tomorrow in Max. I do want to show you the image that Juzan posted in the Discord server of Magneto, which is a character he is working on. You can go to phildoes3d.com if you want to learn more about me, and that's looking sweet. Really sweet. Really nice detail going on. It's going to look really good textured up. You can just say here. Yeah, but if I say Edo, then I'm going to forget that Juzan is Edo. So anyway, Edo, yes. Anyway, this is a Magneto that Edo is working on. Yeah, when you texture it up, it's going to look really cool. I love the detail you've got going on. It's looking really good. Really nice model. Very nice indeed. Really nice detailing going on the face as well, around the eyes. It's going to look really cool. And the lips, actually. The lips look really cool too. Yeah, really nice. Rendered with RenderMan. But we did a save, didn't we? We did. Good. Fleshling says, I just finished a piece the other day. Oh, cool. Let's have a look at Fleshling's render. It's inspired by Chris Reiniak. It shows one of his monsters and tried to make something a little the same, but a little different. Let's have a look. So this is Fleshling's render and model. That's really cool. I love it. I love the depth of field. The depth of field is looking really good. I love the texturing you're going on here on this tree trunk as well. That's really nice. And the model itself is beautifully done as well. It's very cute. Very cute. The only thing that the eyes look a bit bumpy. Like everything is beautifully done. I love it. I love it. I'm just wondering, are the eyes meant to be that bumpy? Is it like what are the eyes made of? What's it supposed to be? Is it supposed to be like a pupil, or? I'm just curious because it looks a bit bumpy. But it looks beautifully done, and I love the depth of field, and I love the texturing work as well. And the character is really cute. I love this little bit sticking up here on the front. Whatever that is, that little thing that looks like a leaf. Yeah, I'm not sure. Edo says, you have awoken to the power that is RenderMan. Bassing says, thank you. They have a bit of a normal on them. Just a big ol' eye, Leslie says. Android Lust says it's cute and ugly at the same time, but not ugly as in a bad quality. I agree. It is ugly but cute. And ugly in a good way, as you say. And I love the little toes as well. That's really cool. Nicely done, nicely modelled, and they look very cute. These little toes. It's really cute. Is he eating berries or she? I don't want to be sexist here. Are they berries? What are they? No, it looks really nice. I like the composition. Like I said, I really like the depth of field. I love the texturing you've got going on, particularly on the trunk as well. And the character. I'm just wondering if it would look cuter, maybe if you just knocked the bump back a little bit on the eyeballs. But again, I guess it depends on the sort of look you're going for and what the character is. It looks great. It does. It looks great. Beautiful work. And cute and ugly at the same time. And I love the toe. Berries, well, Sling says he's eating berries, or she's eating berries. Android Dust says, big eyes just remind me of a bug. That HDRI, Smithbury says. Yes. It does, it looks very cool. I can see the radiosity here, the green, being reflected from the environment on the character here on the side of the head and the side of the body here. It's really nicely done. I like the composition, I like the texturing, I like the modelling. Beautiful work, really nice. Yeah, looks great. We might leave it there though for today, guys and girls. I want to thank you guys for letting me show your work on the stream. And thanks for posting it in the gallery. I do want to thank you too, guys, for being here and for watching. I do appreciate it. I will, of course, be back again tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific time. We'll pick up where we left off with this elevator we're working on. All we're going to do now is pretty much vertex color it, then we can take it into Substance Painter and start texturing it up. You're quite welcome. It's beautiful work, Blessling, and Edo as well. Lovely models. I'll be back tomorrow. You guys and girls take care and stay safe, and I will see you all hopefully tomorrow. See you guys.